Oh, I'm muted. This is the second time today that I've had fun with mute. Hi, welcome. Thank you for joining. Super excited to join tonight and celebrate the continuation of our live stream rewatch of our season of Lego Masters. So this is the only one, hopefully, that'll be on a Wednesday night. We had to adjust some things as we were moving some stuff around since I was in New York unexpectedly last week. So thanks for bearing with us. And yeah, thanks for joining in the chat. Today, we will be talking about Season 5, Episode 8. So this episode is It Brick? 90's edition. So the reason that it's 90's edition is Season 4, they had an Is It Brick challenge, and this is a 1-to-1 build. So that means that you build something that you see in the room exactly as it is, which is a lot of fun. So let's see. Moto, I love that. I'm going to assume, or I'm going to go with the assumption that Justin is not brick. You are right. You are absolutely right. There might be some other brick built things in here, but you nailed that correctly. So good job. Good to see you here. Thanks for joining. Also fun to have you here as well, Mass Vengeance. So for those who remember from our first episode, this person was one of our stormtroopers in the first episode, which is really cool. So excited to have you whenever you're able to join. Today, John is in a meeting right now, and so hopefully he'll get out for part of the time and join us for a little bit. But yeah, I love this. But at least, yes, I can remember the 90's. This is true. This is true. It was funny in the episode, there's actually a moment where they ask who remembers the 90's, and there are 5 people who did not raise their hand, 2 of which will be joining us today, which is super fun. So our guests today, I'm going to bring them to the stage, and all the way from Wimberley, Texas, welcome, Sage and Ian! Yay!
Hey, Justin.
Hi, Justin.
Thanks for having us.
Of course. Thanks for joining. So Wimberley is right outside of Austin, right?
Yeah, like 45 minutes.
Not too far away.
No, it's a very small town, which we really like.
Yeah. Did you both, were you both born and raised there?
No, so we were actually born and raised in Maryland for I was 10 when we moved.
And
so it was like
8.
a lot of my childhood memories are actually in Maryland.
Mm.
I feel like I grew up in Texas, though.
Yeah.
I feel like
we've lived here longer now, so
yeah, for sure. It's amazing how fast time flies too, right?
Yeah.
So you were 8 and 10 when you came here, so that's like 3rd grade, 5th grade ish.
Yeah.
So yeah, you basically grew up in Texas. So you're 2 of the 6 people that were Texas team members. Me being one of them, John being another. Right? I grew up in Colorado, so I bounced around the country a lot and ended up here 16 and a half years ago, which is wild to think that I've lived in Austin that long. So this is now home for sure. But yeah. What have y'all been up to? What's going on in life?
So we started a Lego business, Spectacular Designs. So we've been selling custom Lego kits, which is super exciting. It's been a lot of fun.
And designing a website and everything on the business aspect of it has been really a learning curve, but it's been fun.
That's awesome. When did you start your business?
So that would have been December, like right before Christmas is when we started. So
okay, that's awesome. That is so fun. And honestly, the things that you've been putting out are incredible builds with the Spectacular Designs. Yeah, I mean, I've always been a huge fan of y'all's. But it's been so fun to see these kits that you're putting together. So when people buy the kits, do they buy the instructions, or do you also have the packaged bricks for them as well?
We sell bricks and instructions, and we also sell instructions.
Oh, nice.
I've actually been going to a lot of markets lately. So we recently went to a wiener dog festival, and we sold these little wiener dog builds, and it was so cute because all the wiener dogs would come by and be like, "Can we take a picture of the Lego one?" And then the actual wiener dog, it was so cute.
And there was a couple pugs there, so they posed with their pug build, so it was really fun.
It was cute.
That is so fun.
It was awesome.
Yeah. So we do sometimes we do build specialized pieces for depending on where we're gonna sell. So it's been cool to see that.
Justin, do you know where green is?
Yes, I love green.
I love green. We haven't posted this yet, but Ian designed. We want to go to one of their markets.
Oh yeah.
He designed a mini version of
it's
green.
The dance hall, the water tower.
Okay, that is so
That's so
cute.
cute. And he used
Yeah.
like the piano keys for the like
Mm-hmm.
the windows.
So smart. So that's one thing that I think you both are excellent at is NPU. So for our viewers, NPU stands for nice part usage. And that's where you look at a piece and you see it and think there's a different use of this that's not conventional. So in that case, perfect example, but the NPU is the printed. Will you hold it up again so that people can see? The NPU here is using what is meant to be piano keys as the detail around the outside of that building, which adds so much to that specific build. Like that was a brilliant move. So
because when you're building that small, like a plate would be like really thick, even just a plate. So the piano, like that black line is even thinner, so then it gives the illusion that it's even smaller than what you're typically used to seeing in Lego.
I love that so much. One of my favorite NPUs, which we've talked about a billion times, but is your nose on your owl. What piece is that? Yeah.
The Robin Hood head. And that,
yeah.
I saw that on the ground. Like it wasn't even I forgot to put it back in the bin. It was just laying there. And it's what inspired the whole build was like, that looks like a beak. So it's great that like one piece can make a whole build. Like inspire a whole
so much. I love that so much. You're both so talented with thinking about those different things. And I actually have some photos of some of your builds that I want to show in just a minute to show off the amazing stuff that y'all do.
We love your work, Justin. You're so talented.
Oh, thank you so much. Y'all are so sweet. Let's see. Moto said, we'll come back to that one in a second. Moto said, wait, I didn't know you were Colorado native. Yes, Moto, I am from Loveland, Colorado. So your area, Northern Colorado. I believe, so yeah, I went to Colorado State in Fort Collins. So yes, from that same area, which is a lot of fun. And then let's see, what do we have? The NPU is so clever. It makes me raging mad than jealous. Right? They're just so good. And it's like, honestly, that's one of my favorite things to look for when you go to Lego conventions is to see how people use pieces in non-conventional ways. So inspiring. Yeah. That's fun. Howdy, what a boom day. Yay. Congrats on the ideas win. So we'll come back to that in a little bit too. Yeah. So what we're here today to talk about though is our season 8 episode. So you walk into the room, you see this big like 90s bedroom setup. Is Will already in the room? I can't remember.
I don't think he is. I think it's just a bedroom. But yeah. What's crazy is when we filmed this, it was before Is It Brick from season 4. So like we had no idea like what was happening. And I kind of looked at stage like there's a bunch of random items. I was like, is this one-to-one scale? But we were just assuming, but we didn't know. We hadn't seen the previous Is It Brick challenge.
But then as a viewer who watched it last summer, then they're like, oh, okay, this was after. But for us, it wasn't.
Right? Yeah. That's so fun. And fun fact for those at home, we filmed October 2023. So while season 4 was airing, we only got to see 2 or 3 episodes, I think, in real time with our filming because of the way that the filming was happening and the way that the schedule was happening for what was being released. So I remember also watching those episodes later and being like, oh, so interesting that the rest of the world is going to see this sequentially where they see season 4 and then season 5.
When he introduces the challenge, you can hear him like, we're doing Is It Brick? And then it's like one of his voiceovers when it doesn't show him. It says, a LEGOMaster signature challenge. But you can tell that's added on later because it makes sense for us to like.
Oh, sure. Like, yeah.
So if you watch it, like has them say that on the voiceover.
That is so fun. So you walk in the room. Also, just for y'all to know too, most people who join our live streams for this have had a chance to watch the episode. Some are outside of the country and don't have access to, which is partly why I like to show some pictures or videos, clips if I can. So that's also why I'll be a little descriptive about what was there. So you walk in, it's a 90s kids bedroom, which is meant to be Will Arnett's bedroom in the 90s. And you learn that the challenge is going to be a 1-to-1 challenge. So what does 1-to-1 mean?
1-to-1 scale is when you take an item that like people are familiar with and like they can hold it, like it's exactly like to scale, like piece, like inch for inch, like everything, like the minute details all around, like 360 to look as much like the real item as possible with Lego bricks, we love to do at home. So we were so over the moon.
It does take a lot of time because it's
you
like
you can't hide anything,
and people can see, oh, that's a little off, that's like not right.
Because when you're building from your imagination, it's like, does it look beautiful?
Anything can go. Where this, like, it's up to you.
Where this, you can have to compare. Like, if that's the case, you have to compare it to something that actually exists.
It's tricky.
For sure. And you have a source model or the image that you're trying to match identically. And that's different when you're looking at it, as opposed to like, maybe you come up with an idea for something that you could even build in maybe regular people scale, but if you don't have the actual thing to compare it to, that's both a positive and a negative, because the positive is you have the freedom to creatively play with it and maybe adjust it a little bit and not feel like it has to be perfect. But the challenge is you don't have something to reference to.
And there's like, it eliminates like all the storytelling elements of like what you used to see in LEGOMasters. It's all about like techniques and like and all of that.
And it's also scary because you know how they use that slide and they compare it like directly.
Yeah.
As a viewer, you're watching it and seeing like both of them on the same screen, which is also.
Because I'd say that'd probably be the only LEGOMaster challenge where storytelling is not a part of it, right? Because even technical challenges, they have to like GBC, they wanted storytelling with that. This is like one of the few where like there is no story.
That's a really good point. I hadn't really thought about how you don't have to imagine and create a story that tells or that's told through your bricks with this. And I guess that there's the element of, well, all these things are things from the 90s, but still, that's not a story. That's just a reference. That's fun. So you walk in, you're told that you can pick one item from their bedroom. As soon as you walk out of the bedroom, then you are stuck with that item, for better or for worse. And then you have 10 hours. Was that right?
10 hours,
And we also, when we went in, and as we were picking an item, a thing we didn't realize, since we didn't see the last 1-on-1 scale episode because it didn't air yet, we didn't realize that the placement of what item you picked had to go back there.
And it had to lay like that too.
We were happy because of where ours was placed, but going into it, we didn't expect that.
They didn't tell us.
And like maybe I think we would have still picked the keyboard. But it would have maybe like been a little bit more questions on like, oh, well, let's pick an item further back, or, like that we didn't really think about that going into
they didn't tell us like how, like what would be like for the judging part of it. It was just kind of choose an item and then, so it was just, and that's why a lot of the Anthony and Joe, and Michael, they chose things like right up in the front. And I wonder like if we would have known if they would have maybe gone something a little farther behind.
Or if we would have seen the episode before we filmed that, then I would have.
And it was really nerve-wracking picking something because it felt like it wasn't like a random like, oh, this is what we were given, let's make the best of it. It was kind of like you're the one who chooses this, so there's a pressure of like there's always that thing that runs in your mind of like regret, like did we choose the right item? That has to run through your head while you're building. So it was kind of stressful, like because if you go home or if like something bad happens, it's like you're the one who put yourself in that position. So there was a little bit of pressure for that in that way.
Definitely.
Yeah, you make such a good point too of like the placement in the room when at the end of the challenge there's a guest that comes in, looks at the room for 60 seconds and tries to identify the things that are made of brick. And you don't want them to pick yours. You want them to think it was real. So the placement does matter. I was watching the episode last night with Philip, my husband, and we were chatting about like, what would you have picked and those things? And that was his first thought was, I wouldn't have picked anything up front. But you're right. If you hadn't seen the past episode, which none of us had at that point, you wouldn't know that that's a part of that piece.
What pick, Justin?
What would I pick? Oh, yeah. So such a good question. I would lean towards the piano as well, or the keyboard as well, because I grew up playing piano. I love... like the keys, I have in my head a little bit of how I might build them, which I would love to see your guitar in person and again to like pick that apart and get a sense of how you did it and just compare like if that even matches or is like my scale is way off. But that was one that I thought. And then the other one that stood out to me, if I couldn't pick any of the 5 that y'all chose was, and this would be a big risk, I think, but in the back window there is a one of those balance games.
Like
a wooden balance game.
That'd be cool.
So it would be challenging to at that scale make the maze identical to what it actually looks like in the thing. And so I think that's where when I was thinking about would that be what I would pick, my concern would be if I made a maze that looked realistic from far away, but it didn't exactly match the same maze that was in front of you, if that would be something that they would say that's not identical, which I do think they would say. So
it's hard because it's like,
yeah,
how does it happen, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
I think the little holes in the square, like that would look really cool in like Lego. That would translate well with that.
Right. And I was thinking, you know, it would depend on what parts are available. At this point, you've been in the brick pit long enough to know what is and isn't available. So that's also like something that we would all start to think about. Philip said so many odd shapes and angles and colors. And we also noticed when we like took a picture and freeze framed it on the TV and then looked really in depth for a while. So much of it was like books on a bookshelf, which I don't think anybody would pick. And so it was hard to think through what items to do. So y'all picked the keyboard.
And so when we picked the keyboard, they have like the detailing on the side, like on the front facade and then all around. And so when we saw that piece, I was like, I pray that they have a 1x4 like Technic plate that's like a wrap with the like. So I was saying, because I didn't know, because I hadn't used that throughout the whole season. We hadn't seen that piece. So I'm like, please.
If it doesn't have that piece.
I don't know what we're gonna do if they don't have it in black. I was like, please.
Yeah.
So as soon as we ran out with the keyboard, I immediately ran to the brick pit. I was like, please be in black, please be in black. And they had it in gray and black, but it was mixed. In the bin, they had them mixed up together. So then I was like picking all the way through, and they ran out. I was like, please tell me you have more. And they came out with like, and they had it all black where like they didn't have it mixed up. I was like, oh, praise the Lord, like thank you. But that really was like we were playing a risky game, because if they didn't have that piece,
because then what would you do for that?
I don't know. Like, you know, that was.
Was that for the keys? Or was
no,
that
so like the side, so like past the keys, there's like kind of like
a slanted panel.
Oh yeah.
Lines. And then there's also those same like lines all the way around on the back too.
Yeah. So. I don't know if when you were in Chicago, if you saw the giant anger from Inside Out that moved back and forth.
That was awesome.
So that's our buddy who's on the screen here too. He's been doing my build challenges this year, and he's great. But was saying, you know, that just don't build that fast, like it's challenging, right? And then so all of the challenges would be daunting. And I would say that's the piece that I found the most overwhelming, but also the most fun. Maybe not the most fun. It added fun to it though, because if you have 4 hours, if you have 6 hours, in this case, if you have 10, it's not enough time.
No, it never.
But you're still able to produce incredible work. So before we continue talking about the episode, I want to show some of your builds that you've done outside of this crazy cool show. Because if you didn't know, Sage and Ian were already experts at this whole 1-to-1 scale. So let's pull these up. Let's see. Let me see if I can. I'm trying to do this in a slightly different way. So I want to see. It says before move other. Oh, okay. So I need to do that. There we go. Okay. So Sage, tell us about this one.
So I really liked the Masquerade challenge from that was last week or on the live stream. And I wanted to do purses because I haven't seen many people do Lego purses. And I thought it was fun to make them wearable.
Yeah.
And from the purses, I did a makeup collection. And then I wanted to like, oh, what else is in a bag? And then I added like a key, and then I added a camera, which is I have here.
Oh, fun.
But it's fun to just like, oh, what's in your bag, you know? And so it was kind of like a series that I like to do of like, oh, okay. And then I would have a camera in my bag or like, and then this is the back of it too.
Ah, and you use that perfect printed tile from
like,
the that's from the Mini Cooper set, I think.
The
Fiat.
Oh, the Fiat. That's right. Yeah. Excuse me. So cute. Well, I loved getting to see some of these. I think I've seen some, if not all of them, in person at a convention last year. Or did you have all of them built by then? I don't know that I've seen all of them.
I think Atlanta was my first convention. I only displayed the maroon the dark red purse, and then the dark blue one's new, and so is the camera.
Oh, I think what I'm remembering is I remember seeing you post on Instagram the nail polish bottles, which I loved. Like those are fantastic with NPU. Yeah. So let me flip through a couple other pictures. All right, did that flip? There we go. So Ian, this is your record player or
Yes.
Yeah.
So this record player was really fun to build. I wanted to use those 1x1 bricks upside down to like for those to make it look like that hollow the inside of the brick.
So
I thought that would be a really cool technique, and I haven't really seen that before. And Sage actually has a real record player, so it was kind of like the show. It was really nice to actually have the real item in front of me
one-to-one scale
to recreate. A lot of the one-to-one scale stuff I built, I just like do it off a picture. So it's cool to have the actual piece in real life. And the sticker on the top where it flips open is actually I cut it from a sticker that was on Sage's record player. So it's like the actual like a cross.
That's awesome. I love the technique of using those plates upside down. So what Ian talked about at the very beginning there is the white plates that are in basically the speaker portion of it. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. Such a smart use. And in this episode, Corey and Rebecca use a similar technique for the top of their skateboard. So awesome. Let me move on to another one I want to show you. Let's see. I'm going to actually flip through a couple of these real quick and then come back. So let's show. Do you have the keytar with you in person?
Yes. So
okay, let's skip that for a second. We'll go to this one next, and then I'll pull your camera up to show. So tell us about what was your approach here with the sushi?
So I obviously love sushi. It's like my favorite food. And so I wanted to build it out of Lego and figure it out. So I used tires for the seaweed. And then for the avocados, I didn't want to just do like a tie. I wanted to give it like texture, like a sliced avocado. So I thought of like the egg, and I had a bunch of the eggs from that succulent set.
Yeah.
So, but the egg's like taller than a plate. So I had to use a pot to make it so it goes into the pot. So that's why it only sticks out just a little bit, but it has that like smooth kind of texture, like a sliced avocado in there.
I love
that. It looks like you want to eat it.
Yeah.
Right? It looks
and then there's some like bionicle masks. Used in there, and then like capes and stuff, and then there's an afro for the wasabi, and then the samurai sword, like Ninjago pieces for the chopsticks. So it was really fun to just, because sushi's kind of like, it's a colorful food, so it was fun to like use these vibrant pieces I probably wouldn't have used anywhere else, you know?
Oh, I love that so much. That's so fun. And I also love sushi too, so I can relate. And it does look delicious in person. So, okay, let's look at one more of yours. So we've got this fantastic one that's so slimy. I love it.
Yeah.
Tell us about this one.
So I wanted to make an egg, and I thought I love to create like a moment in time out of Lego, like that instead of just like a still like picture. I wanted to feel like it's alive, you know. So I wanted to, because a lot of people have built like an egg just on a pan, but I wanted like the like goo coming down, the egg just freshly cracked, that's where you can hear the sizzle off the pan, like create those emotions of like when you first make breakfast. So that's what inspired the build. And there's like a bunch of windscreens around the yellow dish to make it look like it's encased in there. So
that's perfect.
That's usually what really caused that effect.
And it's really cool because this is being displayed at the Lego house.
Yay!
Cool.
Congrats. That is so cool.
Thank you.
I happened to be in Denmark when they opened up all of that. So it's so fun to see all there. Actually, I think that might have been the last time I saw you.
I think so, in Denmark.
Oh, wow. That is so fun. And then I'll get to see you next week at Brick Rodeo. That's so cool. So I got to be there when they introduced their 17 builders who were selected from around the world to bring some of their builds. And you have 6 builds there? 5?
Yeah, let's run at the slot. Yeah, I think 6. Yep.
5 or 6. Yeah. Just incredible. And then I'm going to show one other picture. Let's see. We'll see if I can. So in case you didn't know, which I've seen some people in the chat give some shout outs here, but we just learned some really cool news yesterday. Ian, do you want to tell us your news?
Yeah. So this Jumanji board was actually approved on Lego Ideas and will become an official Lego set.
Yes! Woo!
Yeah, I'm so excited. Like that's a dream come true to like have it on store shelves. It's just I can't even comprehend it. So it's
so cool.
Thank you to everyone who supported it, and I cannot be more thankful. So thanks, guys.
Yeah, Ian, I am so proud of you for all of your successes, and I'm so proud of you both. And it's been wonderful to get to see Sage's builds at conventions in the last few years, and also just to have this wonderful friendship with the two of you. I'm so grateful for our LEGOMasters family.
Oh yeah, I was over the moon when I first saw you on like you were on the show. I was like, Justin, because it was, and then like we were friends from Brick Rodeo, but it's great that like our friendship even grew even more through the show.
And I remember the first episode with you, Justin. I remember walking by and you turned to me and you're like, I cannot believe this is real. And I turned to you and I was like, we're on this journey together, and it was so cool. It was like. It was such a surreal experience to do it.
Yeah.
And how the couch, and where our couches align.
Yeah, right across the
couch buddies. It was and then Justin and John. That was our
We lucked out with such a great little couch cruise. So in what they're talking, or what Ian just mentioned, was in the. Actually, Sage has an incredible brick built model of this, which is so cool. Or did. So we had a little break room, or like where we got ready and that kind of stuff. And so every morning we'd go in, we'd do hair, makeup, wardrobe, all that kind of stuff. And then we'd sit on the couches for sometimes a really long time. And because we just like, when the couches first arrived, we all just sat down on one. That just default became our places. And we sat across from you, which makes me so happy.
You guys kept me company when Sage was in a hair chair for so long.
For a long time.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Sage, your hair, so fun, which was always, we're like, bye, we'll see you in an hour.
Problematic.
We would all have to go back to go to the build room, and she would.
I know, I'd be the last one there.
I'll be by the table. I'll be on the table by myself.
It was so funny because me and Baker would just be walking back and forth. I'd be like, last one,
I'm like, Sage, we're shaving that off. I need you, I need you.
Got a pixie.
Yeah.
I love it as it is. Please don't do pixie. Except if you ever want to, I'll support you in that. But let's see. We've got where is the owl's hat from? I was looking for the yellow color, but not able to find that part in that color anymore. I don't know what that.
So a lot of people don't. So it's the Forestman hat. They think it's the Forestman hat in yellow, but it's actually still connected to the Robin Hood. It's one piece.
Oh, so the beak.
It's from the CMF, so it's Robin Hood.
Yeah. It's
just I built it like into the head, so you don't see the Robin Hood head, so it just looks like the hat, but they're together. So it's
awesome. Through the chat, there have been lots of comments like this, just talking about congrats, Ian, and look at the talent on screen. Y'all are just fantastic, and I'm so excited to have you. And we also, as we were showing all those different pictures, there were lots of shout outs for each of you for different parts of your build. So great job.
Justin also is amazing at one.
Yeah.
Show everybody your mixer, Justin.
Oh, let me.
It's amazing.
Thank you. This is something I don't think I've ever actually shown, which is kind of fun. So this was like my first prototype edit, and I've been wanting to like redo it. But it actually spins
and it moves.
And then has the handle. I wanted to go with like a buttery yellow color for old school items from the. Yeah. Thank you. You're so sweet.
And the fact that it works is crazy too, because it looks so real and it actually works, which is so hard to do.
Thank you. I don't think it would actually mix. No, I'm fairly certain it would completely crumble. So. But yes, you have Philip, I forgot about this. Thank you for saying this. You can't see this. Let me put it on the screen. There we go. Philip said, we have a mixer identical to that for my parents' wedding. That was the inspiration. I forgot about that. It was like built forever ago, and it's just been like, I literally have been wanting to revisit that project. Maybe this is the motivation to do it.
You need to do a skill of it mixing.
Yeah, we'll do. Okay, so back to the episode. So you go in, you're looking around, you choose the keyboard. You briefly talked about maybe choosing the Polaroid. Were there any other objects that you considered choosing?
I wanted the Polaroid, but...
She actually said, you wanted the electric guitar, right?
And then Ian's like,
I was like, no. I was like...
Those curves.
Like, it's yellow, it's curved, it's smooth, like...
Because if we wanted something like pretty, like substantial, that's why the Polaroids is like. Obviously, I like Polaroids from the show and everything because that was like it meant a lot, but it was like too small, you know.
Yeah, and I thought like if you do something small like that, it has to be perfect, like every angle because it is so small. where I felt like we went like medium size. We could still, it's doable, but it's also like you can hide a little bit of stuff because it is a larger model.
Yeah, because if it's really small, it has to be like everything has to be.
Because you can see all sides of it without even going around it. Whereas there were some angles like on one side that were different than the other, but you would have to walk around to see the other side. So it's like we're a Polaroid, you can literally see everything just by looking at it.
To go back to where like the position of our build, it was like slanted up like against like a bookshelf, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we didn't build it to be that sturdy too, because we thought, oh, they'll just have it side by side and that's it. We didn't think we'd have to like balance which is a completely like, it was so nerve-wracking because we're like carrying it, we're like, please stay. And then one of the producers was like, I need it a little bit more lean. It has to be a little bit more. And then we're just like, oh, please don't break, please don't break.
What we didn't take into consideration is we were building on a table flat the entire time. Yeah. So we thought, but like, no, we need to actually tilt it up like how it was. And we're like, oh, we've never tested that. So anybody who's doing the future, like, make sure you build it and test it in the position that you got it from.
Yeah. I love, so that advice too about testing as you go just applies across the show in general. Oh, yeah. And it was something that I felt like because our time was so short on some of those episodes, I didn't make good. One thing I would go back and do differently is use the iPhones they put at our tables to take pictures. So a piece of advice we were given was look at your build from, I think it was like 1 feet, 5 feet, and 20 feet.
Yeah.
To just get a sense of like, how is it going to look in the brick pit or in the gallery? How is it going to look up close when you're looking at details? And that's something I just didn't really like. I think I stepped away from our table a little bit just to glance at it, but never really looked through, which is smart because it gets on TV and it's through a screen and whatever. So
because when you're looking it up close, you kind of see the 3-dimensional part of it. Where you take a picture, it's more the silhouette of it, which is like how people see it on TV.
And the colors, like Amy always says, the colors are important on how it pops. You know.
Yeah. For sure. That is super stressful to think about, like building something that large, which was a very wide keyboard.
Very heavy too.
And that's another thing.
I'm sure.
This challenge difficult is because it's like, if you pick something small, you might be done, but there's nothing you can do to add to it. You might have 5 hours left. There's nothing you can do. Or if you choose something huge, it could be like, you don't have enough time.
Really
so it's kind of like, you have to pick how, like, you really have to know what am I able to do in 10 hours? So you got to know your limit. Because you got to push it to the very end. Sorry.
For sure. It seemed in the episode too that most teams were pushing it to the very, very end with finishing. Is that how it felt to y'all from what you recall?
Yes, because I think there was a lot of teams, us personally, sometimes we would start something. And then because you're recreating something, you can't just like, oh, we'll wing it. We're like, we actually built the keys a plate too wide. So Sage made all the keys and it didn't add up the spacing right.
Like, start over.
Actually, I think it was too small.
They were too small. It built too many.
So for example, the original keyboard, it's two plates, like each key is 2 plates wide. So we're like, oh, that's what we'll do. But then this keyboard was bigger than this one. So then it was too small. There was too many keys. So Sage had to redo it. We're like, say we were just building something from our imagination. We're like, oh, we'll make it work. They're smaller, whatever.
Right.
Or like when you're trying to do something like this, you make a mistake. And I think that's what happened to Ben and Mike. Like a lot of teams were like, oh, we need to start. You have to start over.
There was a point in time where it was like halfway, and like something about the angle. You know, it was like, should we restart this or like kind of take it apart? But it wasn't enough time to maybe restart and do it and like make it completely exact. And so that's also hard because it's like with the time you're given, do you risk it?
It's like the point of no return.
Or
where it's
do
like,
you just stick with it and then hope it doesn't, like in the long run, it doesn't like look that noticeable.
Yeah.
For sure. One of the things, I have my notes that I took from watching, so I'm looking at my phone, but that's the purpose, was there was a quote from Jamie about picking your items. He said, choose wisely. Ambitious is important if you want to impress us. And at this point, you want to impress us. And so I think that also, that statement to me was like a reminder to make sure that you went big and ambitious and not too small of an item. And in that room, there were a lot of pieces that they were small enough that they would probably be too small. I was looking at the desk and there was like a stack of notepads or of Post-its. and a pen container that had all different pens and pencils and things. And I thought, oh, it'd be kind of fun to do like all of the items that are on the desk, but I don't think you could really do that. Like, I think you'd have to pick one thing. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
But that'd very much be like what you did, Sage, with your beautiful build that we showed at the beginning of all the different items that are in your bag, which is so fun. And I adore your fashion shoot that you did with it, which is so fun. Yeah, like the photos of you holding it and stuff. So
those were so
great.
Thank you.
Yeah. Philip says, so Jamie meant pick the bike. Yes. That was one thing where we were like, nope, would not pick that one.
That would be so difficult.
That would be so hard.
For sure.
Even Corey and Rebecca's skateboard.
Yes.
That's really complicated shape.
Yeah, and they have to stick to like each square on the bottom to like fit into the dimensions of like keeping it like.
And it's hard because it's like because when we were watching it, they said that they had the smallest build in the room, but it's so complicated. You know, because it's like just because it's thin doesn't mean it isn't really hard.
Yeah, you know, it was the ambitious episode when the skateboard's the smallest thing in the room. Like that's like a huge
and like
thing.
the way they did the wheel, it looked great.
So smart. Yeah. That one in particular, I wish I had a still photo of it, but I do have a video clip that'll show the different pieces in a minute. That one in particular, I noticed that the scale of the squares, it was red and black checkered for those who didn't get to see it. Yeah. And those squares were 3x3, which no tile comes in 3x3. So they had to use 1x3 tiles for each square, 3 of them together. And then for the areas where it curved, had to use those curved pieces that are either 1x2 or 2x2. And like slips, the curved slips. Like that alone adds so much more to it than if they were just to simplify it and say, well, we'll just do 2x2. You know, they could have easily done that, but they would have gotten red for it not being the exact match. So they put so much thought into that. And those curves at the end.
The curves with the T-slips, that's not how perfectly. Oh, it's beautiful.
So good. They did a really, really good job. All of the teams did incredible. I was so impressed with what the scale, especially one team did a really big thing. And then also just the quality. It was really, really good. And I think
Michael's guitar too. No, Ben and Michael's guitar was like amazing.
Yeah,
I was so good.
I was like the stage. I was like, we got this for what we built one-to-one scale. I'm like looking around. I'm like, has everyone built like everyone's like a master on one-to-one scale? I'm like, oh, I thought we had an advantage in this episode. Like everyone like top notch.
And like the guitar like yellow, using all those yellow pieces, like that's hard. And like
it is,
oh my goodness.
Yeah,
everything.
It was stressful.
Yeah.
And those have to be so smooth because you don't want studs showing on the guitar. Like so many elements of this are much more challenging than I think people think of. And honestly, this is a challenge you could do at home with your own bricks, which is super fun. Like I challenge you to find a stapler and try to build a stapler. Like it's a lot harder than you think. And also it's so much fun. It's so much fun to do. Yeah. Like just the coolest. So
pieces like in real life and then translating to Lego. And it actually really helps you build other things because then you see.
Same with character building too. Cause you can build like animals and like, okay, that piece goes with that because that's like one scale.
I always tell people like start building one-to-one scale and then like it translates so well to building other things.
It really does. Yeah, that's great advice for sure. Well, let me pull up. Let's see. Do I have the? Oh, I don't have that lid. Okay. Let me go back to my notes real quick. Sorry, I got distracted. Oh, Ian said when looking in the room, it's like an antique store.
I was young and reckless.
I thought that was so funny. It was funny to me to see that 5 of you raised your hands about not being alive in the 90s. It was like, oh yeah, that's true. Which is so fun. And I think, 90s has come back in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
The Polaroid camera, that's so trendy and
for sure. Yeah. Also, I think this episode filmed and everything before the Lego Ideas Polaroid camera came out.
Yeah, I think so. And that also was kind of crazy because they had like the Nintendo thing. So it was like there was items in there that were like Lego sets. It's like you didn't want to choose that because then it's like
and they're comparing it to the Lego set, which
so
is
that was
for sure
something that like when I looked at the console, I was like that'd be cool to build, but I'm like we would have to compete with like Lego design, like people are gonna compare it to that.
Yeah. It's so true. And Lego has produced some really fantastic sets in the last handful of years that are really beautiful one-to-one builds, many through Lego Ideas, which is a lot of fun. But yeah, that was something that as you were considering the Polaroid, I was like, don't do it. Because I remember building the set. I think I built the set for review last summer, just before this episode aired. And I remember being like, this is incredibly cool, and the angles are so complicated, way beyond what I expected them to be, but it's perfect. I mean, it's a fantastic model,
and that's why that's why we hesitated.
That was a no-go.
That's why we hesitated choosing it, because we were like, it looks simple because it's so small, but it's really not. Like that back slope is so complicated.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think you made the right decision for sure. And it's a beautiful finished product. So in the episode, multiple teams, they showed, at least in the filming parts, multiple teams had to kind of start over with different pieces where they made a lot of progress and then had to completely tear something apart. And like we've talked about, you can't sometimes make a simple change that you just snap and it's done, like those keys. I know when I was doing the Wicked for Good project, we initially started with a different color for the skirt, and it was going to be ombre, and it was beautiful, but it didn't really read enough Wicked, and we switched it to black. But that literally meant rebuilding the entire thing, because like you can't just there we go, it's a different color. You don't paint over. Right. Yeah. So when thinking about your build in particular, yes, Moto, you do need to get that set. It's really an excellent one. When thinking about your build in particular with the keyboard, I know you talked about the keys. Were there other areas that you found as like super challenging, or that you had to just like rebuild a whole large section?
I think one of the hardest parts was, so like, the panel above the keys with all the buttons and stuff. So we knew that we wanted that they would be jumpers for like the buttons. So it's like a half a plate offset. So we wanted to build it sideways. So we're building this whole thing. And then we were like, wait, when we started to connect it, we're like, this is a huge, heavy panel. That's like, there was only like not a lot of time. We're like, we're just going to have to connect this with like snot bricks. So it was like, it was pretty difficult because we were building sideways. It wasn't thin plates. So that's like heavy brick that was like had to be laid on top. That was a difficult challenge, was trying to connect that.
And like in the end, trying to fill in the sides, because the sides had like some gaps. We used like those because they provide you like giant pliers, or tweezers, giant tweezers. And
so helpful.
Taking like the giant tweezers and like trying to fill in any gap we see on the side. So that took a lot of time, because it's like, it was, since the keyboard was at a slight angle there, you know how it is to fill in that area. So it was already connected, so we're just giant tweezers that were like
and another challenging part was the panel is so wide that when we were connecting to the stop bricks, if you try to connect one side, the other side starts to cause a gap. Then you go to fix the other side, and the other side, because it's such a wide panel. And it's when we had to like lean up against the wall, that panel, because the weight was naturally having it like stay, but when we had to lean it against the bookshelf for the final like shot, it was starting to like, and so if you see when Will drops it, there's a whole panel that is like falls off the thing.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Because the studs started to come off. That makes sense. So I want to show, I just grabbed some jumper plates to show. So jumper plates, for those who don't know, is where there's a stud in the middle of a 1x2, or here's a wider one there's two studs in the middle of a 2x3. This allows you to jump the width or length of the piece a little bit out. So if I understand correctly, which I was going to ask you how you did this, I'm glad that you brought it up. You had it where they were just kind of barely sticking up.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So that it looked like those little buttons.
So if you had it flush, then it wouldn't look like a button because it's just flat. Then if you had it a plate higher, it would look too much like
way too sticky.
Stick up. So it's like, that's the perfect, and people aren't used to seeing that in system where it's like only a half a plate. So it just gives that illusion of like, is that Lego?
You want to press it.
Right? Yeah.
And also jumpers came in handy because it caused the space. So we did a jumper, a plate, a jumper, a plate. So that's
smart.
The plate gap between the keys. And I knew that we knew that going into it because we've already built this one. So that was something where like we already figured out how we were able to do those gaps.
Huge advantage. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And also just to show you as well with this, the other nice thing is there's no stud showing. So it's just like that flat little piece. Whereas if you did a full plate, I don't have one with me right now, but if you did a full plate, you would have one stud sticking out.
Yeah.
Which would most likely stand out visually as
and then if you put a tile on it,
completely one-to-one scale.
And if you put a tile on it, it would come off too thick.
Too thick, yeah, for sure, yeah. That is awesome. That is really, really awesome. And it's so neat to see and learn these techniques from each other. And I think that's part of the fun of like going to Lego conventions too and talking to people about their builds. And I feel like people tend to be pretty generous in the Lego community and say, "Oh, let me show you. Let me take this apart and show you how this fits in." And yeah, that's really cool.
And then another way of building sideways where we were able to do those jumpers, it led to, there's like a bunch of words that on the side of the keyboard. So Sage was able to build like, I actually did this for my Jumanji. It's where you use plates and to give the illusion of like lettering.
And you can make it kind of organic.
Yeah.
Different words.
So Sage did that. So like it was with the teal plates, the teal color. And she was able to do like a bunch of the wording on the side. So from afar, your brain kind of like, oh, it's lettering. But when you come up close, it's just plates.
Yeah.
It's so smart to do. And I like, I've seen that in where someone did like a book that was open and they did it for like the words on the book.
Yeah.
It's a very, very smart technique. Yeah, so that was good. So yeah, there's I'm trying to see if there's anything else in the chat. Let me just scroll through real quick. And we also have another friend who might be joining us here in just a second, which is fun. Let's see. Yeah, I think we've covered most of the questions that are in here, which is great. Yeah, awesome. So let's bring our other friend in. So we've got John.
Hello.
Hey, John.
Hello. I am so sorry that I am so late today. My apologies, guys.
You're good. It's good to see you, John.
Great to see you. I mean, Ian, was there a conversation about this already?
No.
What?
I know. We were waiting for you.
First off, like your last two social media posts, actually yours and Sage's about the Jumanji, which was beyond exciting. I don't know if I was more excited for Jumanji or your beard and like the beginning of this.
It looks good.
I would have this on LEGOMasters. We both would have had like the code.
Yes. Yeah. And now you know the struggle is real. Now you know.
Yeah,
exactly.
I can relate now.
And Sage, can we talk about your hair? It has gotten long.
Oh, thanks.
It looks so good.
Oh, thank you.
I cannot wait to hug you guys tomorrow or next weekend. Next week.
So soon. So soon.
Yeah. Well, and I just said tomorrow because literally, like, I just got off our Brick Rodeo, our Wrangler call, where we have over, I'm going to say 100 plus volunteers.
Wow, that's awesome.
Where we've got a huge army of people that are helping us out, but we have so much going on, and this was our pre-con call. And so I'm very, very excited about that. So more surprises in store, but it's going to be a really fun next weekend. So thank you for allowing me to be so late today because duty called. And and for the 90s, I wanted to wear something vibrant. And this is the most vibrant that I had. And I'm like, well, I'll just be like, golfish today. But now I see, I'm like, come on, the color palette.
I
know. Yeah, no, you're right.
What are we going to do? Anyways,
complete missed opportunity.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I wore my Brick Rodeo shirt because I was supporting you, John. But I have a perfect shirt for 90s that I should have worn, and so I may have to run and grab it.
I feel like there's probably a good amount. Like, you know what would be really sad is like you go to like a Goodwill and it's like, look at all these vintage. Oh God, these are 90s clothes. Oh,
right, yeah, vintage. We talked about Ian's unfortunate statement of this looks like an antique store.
For the record.
Yeah, you can't take that one back. Sorry. Just kidding. Well, Lego The Office, have a good night. Thanks for joining. And yeah, we'll see. Actually, you'll see all 4 of us at Rodeo next week, which is super fun. Yes. That's awesome. Awesome. So John, we one question that we were chatting about was, what item would you have wanted to build?
Yeah.
Have you thought about this already? Or
no, I've not thought about this.
That's okay. You can take your time. So
I feel like you and I would have gotten in a I wouldn't have done the bed. There's no way.
No,
I'm sorry, Luke. No, no.
That was silly.
Watching at during one of the watch parties, because we still did the watch parties even after we were eliminated. I would watch that, and I remember looking at the screen going, Luke, no. What? Yeah. Oh God. I love his ambition though.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. What did you say? Because I was good at
Philip and I paused the screen last night and looked at the room to see what items were in there to try and pick. Everything looked complicated. The keyboard would have been one that would have been up on my list.
I was just about to do this.
Really? Oh my gosh, yeah. So that would have been on my list. But then if we couldn't pick one of the things that were the 5 things that were picked, the other thing that stood out to me was this wooden maze in the window that's it's a flat square maze that you twist knobs on the side and it moves it like this, and there's little holes that you move the ball through.
They made that that was a Lego idea set, wasn't it?
They made it's actually in this cabinet. They made a gift with purchase that's similar. It's more colorful. It doesn't look like wood. But yeah, I thought that was going to be maybe a fun one. But we've been talking too about how part of the judging is looking at the exact image and then the exact build and comparing them. And it would be next to impossible to get that exact maze shape given the size and scale of it. So I think you'd have to fudge some of the way it's looking, and then we would have gotten red for that. So I don't know.
Did Sage and Ian, did you all share which one, if you didn't get the one that you wanted, that you would have chosen another one?
No, we haven't.
Yeah, great question.
Sage
wanted the Polaroid to do the Polaroid. But it was really small compared to everybody else's in the room.
I was telling Justin I was eyeing the Nintendo, but then I was like, they've made that a Lego set, so I was really hesitant to that's hard to compete with Lego designers.
Yeah.
So people are gonna
you could have tried.
You
could have tried.
I think I said the lava lamp on the
show.
Okay.
That would have been so cool.
Yeah. That could have been so hard too, though, with the clear elements and how do you get that? Ooh.
Someone built it at Brick for Virginia, right? And they used a pab cup.
They used a pab cup.
And then the clear part.
So smart.
Really cool.
Yeah.
They didn't have pab cups though on LEGOMasters. That would have been cool though.
Yeah.
Yeah, pab cups were definitely not allowed.
Not for something. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Philip said Philip said he was thinking the lava lamp too. So similar thoughts. Just a wild episode though, and so much fun. So we actually haven't talked officially or gone through the list of what people built, but one was so y'all did the keyboard. Anthony and Joe did an amplifier, which was very large.
Awesome. It looks so realistic.
Right?
It really did. They did such a good job. Corey and Rebecca did the skateboard, so we talked about that too. It had a red and black checkered pattern on the bottom. Ben and Michael did the bright yellow Fender guitar, which also actually became a Lego idea set after our season, after we filmed our season. And then Anne and Luke with the bed. So if you didn't catch it and you haven't seen the episode, one team chose a queen size bed, which is ridiculous.
15 minutes into this and you haven't talked about the bed yet?
It's the elephant in the room.
We waited for you, John.
Yeah, we waited for you. We've been bragging on Ian and Sage and all of the wonderful things they do. So, and yeah, I'm really focusing a lot on their keyboard. But yeah, we hadn't officially talked about it yet. So,
God, we should have, that should have been the guest star, is that like Luke comes in and we just like roast him and to be like,
oh my gosh,
what were you thinking? Like, I love his ambition.
It was funny because one of the producers came up to us and they were like, after they chose the bed, they come up to us and they're like, when you watch this episode, this 1-to-1 scale, there's another mother and son team that also choose a giant item. It's like, we hadn't known that yet, but it's also Sam chose the giant rush. The mother and son Is It Brick challenge is just, they gotta go big.
Should just, only the mother and son teams doing 1-to-1 scale. So they should like bring all the mothers back.
I love it. I love it. And they talked about that in this episode about how with Sam and Nina, they had the golden brick.
Yeah.
So they were going in with the golden brick knowing we're probably going to have to give it up, but let's just do something ridiculously outrageous. Luke and Anne didn't have it. They had just given it up the last episode. So what a risk. Yeah. But I am so ridiculously impressed with what they accomplished with that amount of time.
Oh, me too.
And that bed frame, the headboard was so good.
Yeah.
I wonder if
beautiful.
Chose that, like just do the headboard.
Yeah.
Like, that, honestly,
right.
It's really big too.
Right.
Yeah. That alone they must have been exhausted after. I mean, all of you were probably, but like that was a nonstop. They didn't have a moment to breathe, or to pause. So the biggest risk was, the bed. But all of them were risky in different ways and had very unique shapes and challenges that each team runs into. And that's something I really valued and enjoyed about this episode is, and I think in part it's because there's 5 teams left, and so there's more time that they can spend on each of the teams' build process. Yeah. But we really did get to see each team, beyond y'all, they didn't really show y'all struggle much, but we did get to see the other 4 teams run into some pretty big roadblocks that they had to address. And we just haven't gotten a chance to see that as much throughout the season yet, where we got as much time kind of with each team. So it was nice to see, and I don't mean this in a mean way, but it was nice to see like Ben and Michael have to tear stuff apart and then rebuild, and to see, holy cow, look what they rebuilt. Like that looks incredible.
It's nice to see the process.
And I think with earlier episodes, if someone's struggling, it's kind of like, oh, they're going to get sent home. But when there's fewer teams, they can actually show someone struggle and then they come back. Or I think everyone's struggling, but they only can show that they're struggling, that gets sent home. Where there's multiple teams, they can show even the team that wins or teams that are just kind of in the middle, they can show them struggling and then overcome it.
And that's part of the reason, like when you see the final product, it means so much more because you see, they struggled, but then look at how far they came. You know, it's a cool part of LEGO. See that.
Yeah. When you think back to that moment of any one of those struggles, I mean, with fewer teams in the room just means that you are all closer together. You have more of an eye shot. Even though you're focused on your project, you're still like, your eyes are kind of like wandering at different points. What were you ever picking up like, oh God, I would feel like if I could just help them with that? Or did you ever feel like, oh man, I wish that like my friends would just like fix itself like in the next couple of minutes? Do you have any of those moments?
Honestly, we had no idea what was happening, like other than like, because we were in the corner, so like the only team next to us was Anthony and Joe.
Yeah.
And then Luke and Anne were on the other side of them.
Yeah. I think Ben and Michael, I remember them struggling like halfway through it and then having to break their bones and then rebuild it. So I remember seeing that, but it's hard because it's like you want to help them, but it's also like when you're, and I know how it's like when you're struggling, and then it's like when you're building, it's kind of like, oh, you're just trying to figure it out and you need to focus and stuff. And we didn't really have that much time left over. We were kind of biting or like fingers crossed,
and,
you know.
And like when you're looking from afar, the builds look amazing, even though they're struggling. Like it's actually, if you watch the episode, when Ben and Michael are like struggling with the guitar, you can hear Sage in the background say, did you see their guitar? Yeah. And they're like, we gotta get rid of all of it.
I'm like, have you seen it?
Have you seen their guitar? Because when you're not the builder, because they see the end result, where we only see like, oh my gosh, it looks amazing. But they know it's like, we're we're gonna run into trouble.
Yeah.
Or when you're a builder watching from afar, you're like, oh my gosh,
how
that's
did they
amazing.
do that?
Sure.
They know like, oh, this is not going to turn out well because we didn't plan this right, or this part wasn't here. Or like Anthony and Joe, they got the number of the the studs wrong. But if you look at it, you're like, wow, it's amazing. But they know it's like it's going to end up being bad. So it's kind of hard to tell like when something would be off unless you're the actual builder.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like there were a lot of those times with me. Like I would be looking over and be like, oh, and then you find out later you're just like, you guys thought that you were you guys were doing great, and it's just a matter of perspective.
Yeah,
totally.
For sure. Oh, so fun. I was saying that this would be of the challenges that we didn't get to participate in. This honestly is the one that I was saddest about missing, because I just think it'd be so incredibly fun. I'm curious.
For you guys would have done amazing.
Oh, thank you. John, for you, when looking at the, maybe we'll just say between this and Masquerade, since we haven't gone through the
because the next one would be it, but
we'll talk about that next week. Yeah,
the next one, only because I have no idea how to do that, and I would have I would have loved to like just learn on the fly to be just like, I don't know what we're gonna do, Justin, but it's gonna be weird. So
that was us.
No,
trial by fire,
right?
Yeah,
I know. With the ping pong ball.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk. I mean, Sage and Ian, we'll talk about this next weekend at Brick Rodeo because I have a lot of questions about that, and we're not. I've got a lot of questions that I'm prepared. But I would say of this episode and the one before Masquerade. I feel like that would have been. It was just colorful, but it's also just like wearables in a way that I think like wearables are like huge, and even over the past year, like since we aired, like we've seen more like so collaborative like stuff between Lego and influencers and you and just other people are starting to like take notice of like, wow, Lego is fashion, Lego is art and wearable art. So I think there's more to come on that, and there's more to explore, and that's what made it really interesting.
Yeah, for sure. I also think too that Masquerade for me at that time would have been completely brand new. I would have never done it before at that point. And so that maybe is why I'm like, oh, I've done 1-to-1 before. That I would be more excited about this one. But that would have been such a fun challenge in like a different way. Too. Yeah.
It was my favorite challenge. Like definitely a dream. Like because Project Runway, it's like that mixed with LEGOMaster. Like you can't get better than that, you know?
And I feel like it's one of those challenges where you kind of it's like it works so well for the show. Where 1-to-1 scale, you can kind of do that at home. Where like they have outfits, you could walk the runway. It was more like specific to like doing it from the show. Like made it special.
Yeah, for sure.
I really like think like when I saw your color choices though last week, and I know we're jumping back to like mask and everything. Like one, I could see the joy on your face. Like you were so excited about the challenge, and I feel like that's something that I loved. Like in the time that like I got to see you, and even like Ian too, like you both were like screamed, but like authentic positivity about everything, and you could just see the joy, and I felt like that just radiated. So like for me, I was like, I saw that in your face when I saw that. I'm like, oh, I wish that I was there to like see it, but I was so glad that like it was even close, because then I wouldn't have been able to see it. But like you just were so excited when you saw it, and then Ian, you guys feed off each other's energy. And so you were so excited, and I feel like just the same as to go into the 90s challenge. It's like you just met every challenge with like just curiosity and interest, and I felt like that love of Lego like burst from the TV. I love it.
Okay, right back at you guys. When you guys left, everyone was so devastated. We're like, where's Justin and John? Like, these guys were such
But you carried the torch, lady. You guys did.
It was so fun when the producers would put us with you guys at like for the Wicked episode, for example, like when we feed off each other.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
That
was absolutely.
You guys were so great, like behind the scenes. We love spending time with you, and on the show. You guys are such a joy to watch.
No, we love you. I've got another question too. Was there anything funny in the episode though that didn't air that happened behind the scenes that you're like, ooh?
Ooh, good question.
So Will Arnett, one of the times he came up and he was like,
I'm gonna grab more water. I'll be right back.
What? Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
Good, because I'm like, spill the tea.
So he came up and he was like, you guys are 2000s. You don't know anything about the 90s. He's like, do you guys even know Hanson Mbop? And that's like our favorite song.
The one song we knew.
And we were like, yes, we do. And we started singing it. And then I pulled up the keyboard and I like did it, like I slid across the floor and sang the song.
No!
Like this.
And then he did nothing. And he was like, don't ever let your brother touch a keyboard again. And he's like,
I think we were a little too crazy for Will Arnett.
And he was like, you guys keep shocking me. Because he named the one 90s song we knew.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad that he did that. He would have been able to sing it. Oh my God. Did you own that CD? Did you own that CD? Because I owned that CD in high school.
No, we just loved. They sing another song called "Give a Little."
Yeah.
Yes, I love that song.
Yeah. So good.
So good. So
you know what? That song might be playing as you go up on stage next week.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Oh my God! You know what? Gonna go do it.
That's our intro.
I love that song.
It's so good.
So much. That's hilarious. Was there anything else that he did like that was pretty funny behind the scenes?
I do remember when he was going through. Was it with the bike and he was like running through his room? I do remember looking at that like, what is going on?
We said this was what was this, Monday?
This was a Monday. So because Masquerade was Friday, then we had the weekend.
I don't know if it was the outfit he was wearing, but he was like super
so chill.
So like he was just running around and just like. I think it's the set of being in a bedroom and just like he had so many problems to work with.
Yeah.
He was a kid in a candy store.
Yeah.
Like he was like living his best.
Sitcom.
That's it.
Yeah. He was like right at home. He was right at home.
That is totally it. That is absolutely it.
I like Jamie's outfits too in this episode.
Wait, your outfits or his outfit?
And Jamie's outfits were pretty cool.
The Clueless.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you wish that you would have been able to keep from their outfits?
Jamie's shoes or his fanny packs.
I like Jamie's. What are they called? The things that go on his suit.
The brooches, like the little brooches.
Yeah, and
like a lapel.
Yeah, when we talked to Amy, she was saying that every episode he would go and build it in the brick pit and then come back with the pieces they had.
What?
Really cool.
That happened on every one of our episodes?
Yeah. Before every episode, he would go in the brick pit, build something, and then he would wear it.
I'm going to have to... This is an Easter egg of epic proportions.
So he was using the pieces we had and was just like making it work.
Ah!
That's awesome.
I had to.
That's perfect.
This is why it took so long. I was like, where in the world did Justin go? And now
I've never had a chance to wear this, so thank you for the opportunity.
This is the time.
Yes.
This was the moment.
Yes, it was well worth the wait. Well worth the wait.
Thank you. Okay, good. I hope it goes over well.
Whatever was in that water is awesome.
Yeah. Ice.
Justin, did you hear this part about
baby?
Jamie? I didn't know that at all.
It's something where so Jamie rarely posts on social media, but one time he had posted a close-up picture of 2 or 3 of them, and it was in a season, maybe like season 3 or something. I just remember seeing it and being like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna need to start looking for this. And then when we were on the show, I remember loosely noticing it, but we were so focused on the challenges that I didn't really fully notice it until watching the episodes last summer. So yeah, he's so cool. I didn't know he built them on site though, like that was from the brick pit.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So cool.
Now this is like a reason for me to go back. I don't want to go to his Instagram. I want to rewatch, or at least just go and like zoom in on Hulu to actually see each one. That's so cool.
Yeah. And they're really detailed.
Yeah, they are
fashionable.
Yeah.
I love that though. You guys got to like see him again at Scareback last year, right? Did you get to spend time with him?
It was really brief because like it was just for like the reel and stuff, but we got to talk to him and stuff, so it was really cool to like and it was funny because he like walked up to us in like normal clothes, and then everyone's kind of like, and then he goes into the restroom to change, he comes out and it's like, oh my gosh, there's Jamie. like because he got the glasses, the suit. It was like Batman, like Superman, like Clark Kent.
Like, and then we got nervous.
We got nervous.
That's so awesome, though. That's so cool.
Oh,
I saw him
that.
in regular clothes then on the Monday after Scareback at the pizza party. And then at the I gave him the biggest hug. He was so sweet. And like we chatted for a while and caught up. And it was just so fun to like see him. And I'm like, I just need to come back here every year and give you a hug. Like it was just so fun to see him. But I remember watching the reels that you guys did with him, and that was so much fun.
And it was
that
cool
was
to
great.
hang out with Amy. It was cool because I finally got to like, because it's hard like on camera to talk to her about like the sets you grew up with, and I'm like, and I was telling her, I was like, the hair salon. She was like, oh, do you want to do hair? And I'm like, I'm talking to Amy. You know, like kind of like normal conversation. Like, oh my gosh, there's Amy.
Like it will never not be like
it will never not be like and we're like walking around the park and there's Amy walking by and I'm like, oh my god.
I completely agree with you. I will always have like celebrity eyes to be like
normal people.
And I'm like, Amy's asking me if I want to do hair now, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I feel like right back, you know.
I remember when we first got there. Well, and first off, I'm sure you all get asked this too, but everyone asks me, like, what was it like meeting Will Arnett? And I always say, like, he actually cared deeply about us, and he was really funny and goofy and silly and whatever. I was much more starstruck about Amy and Jamie. I was like, oh my God. Like, I just, because I look up to them so much and like, just really admire, not that I don't look up to Will. He's wonderful. If you're watching Will, we love you. But just like
in the Lego community.
Jamie, yes.
Yeah, the two of them just such wonderful,
I feel the same way,
people and brilliant people. Like just
and they give you really great advice. Like because I thought like what they show on camera is what you get. No, it's like 20 minutes of like,
and
we need that. You should change this. Like it's great.
And we still take like the advice from them from the show like years ago and still incorporated it into the box today. Like how you your build
for sure.
When you think back to your build from this episode, what were the things that they told you that may have not also got on camera that you really took to heart?
So what they really wanted us to focus was like, so we had the keys, but then we didn't have the panel with the buttons. And Jamie was very much like, you guys make sure you focus on the little details of those buttons because they're like really the only color in the mock because it's like black and white. So like those buttons are going to pop. So he said, he was like, how are you guys going to do that? And we told him like, we're going to do the jumpers. And he like was like, okay, that's awesome. But he made sure we really focused on all those little details of the buttons on the top.
That's cool.
So, that is cool. Yeah.
Did Amy say anything on the side or anything, or no? You only got Jamie.
I don't. That was pretty much It's kind of hard with like 1-to-1 scale because it's kind of like they can't really tell you about like the color because it's like you have to. I know. So they gave much advice, but this one was probably the most where it was kind of like you just.
That was still helpful though.
Yeah. I remember just being so impressed last night when rewatching of both your buttons and also of Joe and Anthony's knobs and the top portion. I thought you both did such a fantastic job with recreating what
you did. You really did.
So I have a video clip. Their lettering was really great. Yeah, and it said lead, I think, which is where you plug in the plug. So I have 2 video clips, but I want to show the first one first. And this is when the guest arrives. So I don't think they explain who the guest is in this. I think it's past that. So do you all want to tell us who the guests were?
So Mark and Steven,
the winners of season 2 of LEGOMaster.
And what's crazy is they were the first people we ever met at Brick Rodeo in 2021. We have a picture in the foyer before we even checked into our hotel.
And I was like, and we were like, is that Mark and Steven? We're like, no way, they're in the lobby.
We have
oh my gosh.
And we have a picture of like bedhead hair because we just drove to the rodeo. And we're like, kind of like, and we're like,
and then we were in the elevator with them, and my mom was like to them, she was like, well, did you win? And they're like, we can't say anything because the show.
It hadn't aired yet.
So it was funny because it's like, you know how like when you're on the show, people always ask, well, what happened? And like we were doing it to Mark and Steven, and we were like nagging at them, like, well, why didn't you tell us?
Yeah,
that's funny. That's funny.
So
cool.
Very.
Yeah, so cool. And they live in Atlanta, right? I think.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So we filmed it in Atlanta, for those who didn't know. So the two of them come in and they are told what the challenge is. This is their first time experiencing it too, because like we said, the episode hadn't aired yet of the last season's 1-to-1 challenge. So, and they are told that one of the two of them had to be the, not judge, but the watcher, I guess, I don't know.
Yeah.
And had 60 seconds to look in the room and try to identify all of the items that were made with Lego bricks. So they do a quick rock, paper, scissors, and Mark won.
Yes, Mark won.
Yeah. And so Mark has 60 seconds. So that's what we're going to watch here. So let me make sure that I have the right one. I think it's this one. All right. Oh, nope. That was the Jumanji. Let's see. I'm going to click this and then we'll see if it's the right one.
Correctly ID.
Oh, nope, not that one. It's this one. Here we go.
Turn around.
Oh, wow. Oh, man, there's a lot of stuff in here. Oh, my gosh.
What looks like it's made out of brick?
Okay, looking around the room. What a room.
It's a lot. It's tough.
It's overwhelming. Oh, that electric guitar. That looks Lego.
Okay.
Let's see. I see a skateboard with checkerboard pattern. I think that's Lego too.
Right out of the gate, skateboard. Not bed or lack of bed. We might go home.
Oh man, okay.
2 guesses so far.
Let's see.
Holy cow, they did a good job. Really good job.
Oh, okay, so that black box, it's the speaker there.
It's an amp.
That looks
The
Lego.
speaker, yep, okay.
Let's see.
Clock is ticking.
There's a baseball in the back, there's a drum kit, no, it's not Lego. There's some Lego bricks down beneath the blanket. It might be the bed. Yeah, oh, okay, that looks like the bed.
10 seconds.
Oh,
10 seconds.
Okay,
Time's running out, and it's so nerve-wracking.
got a bunch of posters on the wall.
We're just praying, and we're like, oh my goodness, is he gonna notice our keyboard?
So I'm going to play the next video because it's right after that. For some reason, it was in 2 separate clips. But let's find out.
4 items, which means 1 item had you fooled.
Yeah.
The 1 item was the keyboard.
There we go. It fooled me. I didn't see it.
Sage and Ian, congratulations. Yours was the only one that was not picked. It's an amazing build.
So I'm pausing here for a moment on purpose. Just before this, if you look around, Will, of course, I have to let the drama last longer. If you look around Will's feet, you see bricks everywhere because the other 4 items he dropped and shattered and exploded everywhere. And we're watching him pick up your keyboard and we're really hoping, do you think he's going to drop it? Let's find out.
So, in honor of your build not getting picked, LEGOMasters and the Lego Company have decided that this build will be featured.
I can't believe it.
I'm so sorry.
Oh my God.
I could probably rebuild it.
You can't do so. Total bummer.
How could you do that? It was so beautiful.
What? It was like a beautiful finale firework. Was that just me?
That was just you.
So rough, so rough. Did he have you fooled? Did you think that you were...
He was being very careful with it. So we thought, okay, he's never that careful, you know?
Yeah, and he was just like, we love this. He like did a whole intro that felt like kind of like a winning, like something that you're gonna get or something.
I know.
Like
rude.
His tricks have definitely gotten more elaborate over the years.
Yeah.
He's just a good actor.
Yeah.
I remember being so surprised that that it was destroyed because the way he makes it sound is as if it's going to be on display somewhere, and it should be because
it should have been.
It's so good. Yeah.
Thank you.
Have you thought about rebuilding it?
Yeah, we've got some chance to rebuild it in the
that would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then let's actually get it in some place and be
Yeah.
like, see,
Right.
Will, come on.
Yeah. Philip says that was just you had me rolling. So yeah, that was a fun moment to watch again.
It was not funny at the
time. I have to say, so one of the coolest experiences with this too was I mentioned on Monday that during the Masquerade episode, Philip and I were in Houston for Brick Rodeo, and we stayed an extra day to go to that watch party. So we got to watch it with Anthony and Joe, who won. And then we got to go to your watch party this week and watch it with you and your family, which was so fun. So they did it in like South Austin area. We were at a pizza place, I think, and it was just so fun to get to enjoy that all together, but also just to get to see you win. And so I jokingly said in our WhatsApp chat after that, who wants me to visit their watch party?
You guys are like,
I'm clearly a luck charm. But it was so cool to get to experience that. And I just spoiled it a little bit, but it should be pretty obvious. Given that they didn't recognize and clock that yours was made out of brick, you had a little bit of an advantage, but it wasn't a guaranteed win per se. But you won.
And what's cool is that actually Ben and Michael were brought to the front with us. Top two, but they took that out.
They didn't show it.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they did a whole. So us reacting like, "Oh my gosh, we won!" is us finding out we're in the top two.
Yeah, not actually our reaction.
Oh. Huh.
That is a twist.
Surprising.
Yeah. It was us and Ben and Michael standing up there, and then
because I think actually in the finale, Ben says, "Yeah, we've been in the top two," and they said, "Is it brick?" But they didn't. They say that in the finale, but in the episode they never show it.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That is really interesting.
I think it's because it's such a long episode of like Mark having to guess things that they had to just like cut to like, as much as they can.
Sure. As I was writing down notes, I always try to capture like who was in the top two, who was in the bottom two, and I didn't catch that. So I'm glad that you mentioned that. And rightfully so. Theirs was so well sculpted. Like the shape was perfect. Really, really beautiful. And then
they killed it.
They did. They really did. Unfortunately, the bottom two were Anne and Luke with the bed, and Corey and Rebecca. And the feedback that Corey and Rebecca were given was that while it was complex, it was the smallest build in the room. And they kind of got that feedback the last week with Masquerade as well. Of your mask is a little bit smaller than what we want to see. So they were both bottom two. Unfortunately, we saw Luke and Anne go home, which wasn't a big surprise given that their bed fell apart before judging. But I have to say, they did the most. And it what they were able to accomplish was wildly cool. So impressive. So
I'm still shocked though that they were able to execute as much as they did.
Yeah.
Because when they selected, I was just like, oh God. And actually, Sage, when you just said the bed frame, I was like, oh, that may have been like all right, at least we got a good chunk of it, but still they probably used double the amount of bricks that some of the other built. I was just, I was in awe at what they were able to accomplish.
It was very impressive.
Yeah. And I think it also speaks to their ambition and they really were going for a huge swing, a huge risk. And I really appreciate that it wasn't that they went home on something that they didn't try, or that they just didn't knock it out of the park. They did their absolute best and got super close to having a model. That was really impressive. So super fun episode though, and the right team won. Y'all did a fantastic job.
Thank you.
Well done, guys.
And I love knowing going into the show, having seen your work for years before at Brick Rodeo, I knew that this is a challenge that you were going to just knock it out of the park. So it was really a treat to get to watch. You get to compete in this, which was so cool. And the two of you have done incredible builds that have been so much fun to get to see year after year at conventions. So I want to ask y'all, as we're starting to wrap up, are there places that people can see your work or can see y'all anytime soon, perhaps next week?
Brick Rodeo. people are going to be there too. So it's going to be
so excited for that. And then we're also going to Brick Slopes in Utah.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
Yeah. We loved going last year, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Can't wait.
That's so fun.
Brick Rodeo is going to be
fun. So all 4 of us will be at Brick Slopes and Brick
Slopes,
right? Yeah, which will be so fun.
Yes,
super exciting. And then I'm gonna zoom in on y'all for a second. So underneath their names, you can see their social handles, and this is on Instagram. So Sage's has 2 underscores. So it's Sage 2_Abigail. And then Bricktacular_builds. And for your business, it's Bricktacular_designs?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Oh, wait, hold on. I'm writing this down. Say that again?
Yeah.
Bricktacular Designs.
It's like I'm hiring you to do something. I don't know what.
Right? So I'm putting that in the chat for people to see too. But that's some ways that you can keep up on their wonderful, wonderful life outside of or all of their continued journeys with Lego, which is a lot of fun. Y'all, we have had so much fun getting to chat, and I'm so grateful that you spent the time with us today.
Can I do a quick plug really quickly?
Please, go for it.
So next week for everybody who is who is watching this, Brick Rodeo is in Austin, Texas. It's from July 23rd through the 26th. Public time is 25th and 26th. And so tickets are right now available on brickrodeo.com. But if you are an all-access pass holder or a companion pass holder, you get to go to the conference, which is the 23rd and the 24th. And we have a couple of kind of exciting workshops as well as a keynote speaking, or actually a keynote conversation, if you will, with Sage and Ian. And I get the lovely privilege of interviewing both of you about all of your incredible work in and out of and after LEGOMasters. So we're super excited that Sage and Ian are going to be in attendance, but there's so many other exciting surprises, exciting moments in and around Brick Rodeo. It's at the Kalahari Resort up in Round Rock, just north of Austin, but you can go to brickrodeo.com for tickets. So come meet Sage and Ian, come see Justin and myself, but it's going to be so much fun next weekend.
Cannot wait.
Cannot come any sooner.
I know. So excited.
So excited. So I dropped some of those notes in the chat. So we've got brickrodeo.com. The dates for the public days are 25th and 26th. And then all 4 days are the 23rd through the 26th. And when you see us, say hi. We all are friendly people, I promise. Especially this crew. These 4 faces are delightful people who love to meet people. So
do you have your card still, by the way?
Yes, we got 1 box left.
I'm running low. I need to get a reorder of mine soon. So
I thought that I was out a box, and then when I was moving, I found a whole other box, and I was so I have a whole sleeve to go through at Brick Rodeo. So
I might have more here that I don't know of, so I need to look.
And if anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, all LEGOMasters, because we all, we just love a fun tchotchke or a thing. We have trading cards. Oh my God! I love Justin. I love you. I love it. And Sage and Ian have little trading cards. All LEGOMasters participants, we all made our own. So you can come up and ask us for one when you see one. Please do, and we'd love to give you one.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool. Well, again, thank you all so much for joining. John, thank you for, I know you've had a double duty tonight, but so glad that you were able to join.
Thank you for holding as much as you did back, and I got to join in on the conversation, so thank you guys.
Thank you for having us again.
It's been truly an honor. It's been so much fun chatting.
Good.
No, you guys are awesome. No, we love, I just love geeking out about this stuff about you, about Lego and our experience, but I can't wait to dive into more stuff next week.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. So we'll be back again on Monday, 7:30 p.m. And that'll be for week 9, episode 9, which is the greatest ball contraption. Similar to Great Ball Contraption, but using ping pong balls, right? So larger balls than what we're used to. So join us again on Monday if you get a chance. We'd love to see you. And our guests are a surprise. We'll let you know once it's all figured out. So we will see y'all again on Monday. Yay! Thanks, y'all.
All right.
Build kindness.
Bye, guys.